Hello everybody, welcome back to Language, Litigation, and Integration Part 101, The Art of War. Today we'll be reviewing the great book, The Art of War by some Asian dude. Just kidding, we won't. There's no art to war. War is a bunch of monkeys deciding they're going to kill each other because they're savages. So, got the main talking points. I don't have much to say. Russia has officially invaded Ukraine. 2022, I unified the natural sciences 6 years ago. There are aliens everywhere, and human apes are still blowing each other up because of the Soviet Union from 50 years ago, 70 years ago, like, what, 30 years ago? Why? I don't know. You gotta pound your chest, I guess, if you want. Fag, Vlad. I was gonna look up fag in Russian. I can't remember the word. But fuck you, Vlad. And fuck everybody else too for, I honestly want to know, like, how do you guys organize China, Russia, and the United States and everybody else in the world government? How do you guys not prevent a war, but still organize to not publish my paper collectively? Like how the fuck is Russia invading Ukraine and Russia's not publishing my paper or some shit? So I am honestly mind-fucked as to how these countries can organize enough to, again, violate all my human rights and kill a bunch of human beings, but then they can't, like, stop a war or... And I'm just trying to figure out which bodies matters to who. It doesn't seem like for anybody, like the actual populace, no one cares about fucking anything. Everyone's infatuated with murder. The actual world governments, they don't want the economy to fuck up too bad because then their governments get fucked. But I just don't even get how this shit works, man. We are truly in a new chapter of 1984. And this is what's called the art of not war. So... just again, what's going on? Russia has declared 2 of the eastern provinces of Ukraine as sovereign territories, and they invaded them. They've got some Russia-backed militants on that area. Responses: the United States has obviously imposed sanctions. The UK, Boris Johnson has pushed for heavier sanctions with the SWIFT system, kicking them out of the international banking system. You have Germany providing some tank and some supports to like Estonia, Latvia, surrounding areas. China has been pretty non-responsive. They haven't condemned the attacks, but their number one policy for foreign policy is let sovereigns don't interfere in sovereign states. And I forgot when I was making fun of Xi Jinping's his wife's pussy smelling like orange chicken. I think I pronounced his name wrong. It was Xi, and I'm not too familiar with Xi Jinping's letters. Chicken, but don't interfere with sovereign states. What about Taiwan, Xi? Oh, what do you do? Make my microwave buzz? What do you do? Kill me? Please do. Life is fucking terrible. So I just felt like, yep, number one rule for China is state sovereignty, except for Taiwan. And we're just gonna go. So that's pretty cool stuff. But I really want to know, again, if I'm alive to see this world change, which I have absolutely no expectation, but I'm going to impose my own sanctions. Again, I've already banned my research from being shown publicly. Any private, if you're a $40,000 teacher a year, if you make $40,000 a year, and somehow you're watching a video behind closed doors, and not simply registering a view on my YouTube channel, I am suing you. I am throwing you in prison for fraud, and world government's leaders needs to be executed for fucking treason. My research at no point is allowed to be shared publicly or privately, and I don't go around associating as like I'm some real smart scientist. I'm just Brad trying to do music and do videos every single fucking day. So if I can, and all I care about, my last video yesterday about buying a business, if I can just get a stable cash flow stream, I just don't fucking care. So my research is never allowed to be shared, never be allowed to be viewed publicly or privately. Again, I'm obviously going to make a fuck ton of money off of it, so I'll figure out what I'm going to do with that. But cook your own dinner, you're going to eat your own dinner. You stagnate society, you're not going to participate in the most profound jumps in human understanding ever. So, again, from a 4-person family to literally world governments, people cannot behave, and you people are savages. There's no art to war, it's just a bunch of fucking monkeys killing each other, and for no reason. Remember, guys, China, Russia, United States, those aliens that can flick on your fucking missile silos like a light switch. they're still there too. So I'm sure they're not super fucking happy about humanity. The overall response to humanity is most don't care. And as a human being, as the king of humans, I don't care either. Blow me up first, who gives a fuck? Humanity has completely failed. 100% completely fucking failed. So that's probably it for the clown costume. I just really wanted to emphasize to and maybe your wife's pussy smelled like lo mein, or maybe Kung Pao chicken this week. Again, the G69 summit will be coming back. I'll be writing a declaration of dependence and my own constitution. So I'll be a very politically correct. Definitely won't say the nigga word again, because if you keep 10 toes down, you're a real nigga. And so won't be saying the nigga word at all. And so now moving on to other talking points. But I do want to say it is absolutely everybody's fault at this point. Again, certainly Fag Vlad invading Russia or invading Ukraine. He's the commander-in-chief for Russia. But again, imagine if the sentiment of this species actually changed 20 years ago. Imagine if it actually changed 6, 7 years ago. And every motherfucking Ukrainian was a shooter. And then you have 100,000 shooters that are civilians in the cribs. The fight back, again, the sentiment, again, of standing for yourselves. Like watching yesterday when the bombing started, and then everyone's like hustling and bustling to get out of the fucking city. It's like, first of all, I don't know why, again, I'm not against evacuation. But it's like, why would you not? Why would you wait till literally the bombs are dropping to evacuate? And then it's like, why not stand and fight? And again, you'd have way more shooters if people were mature. You would. And so, and then in the rest of the world, I mean, like, again, the sentiment of the world has not changed yet, and it's going to change profoundly quickly. We're going to go from 7 to 8% to maybe 30, 40, 50%, basically overnight if people could ever just accept scientific proof. Which at this point does not seem likely from any country at all whatsoever. We have Kim Potter was breaking down in court about getting convicted of killing Dante Wright, Dante something, the fat bitch who didn't know the difference between a taser and a loaded gun by the weight of the thing in her hand. So again, another great member of the police enforcement team. But she was she's like apologized, she gets convicted, and she's breaking down in court. You know, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Dante's Wright mother, I think it's Dante Wright, doesn't accept her apology. And then you also have Kim Potter, again, either in her mugshot or some picture after the verdict, you know, like weirdly smiling into the camera. Oh, I'm so fucking stupid. I'm a fat cow of a woman that calls herself a human being. I just killed somebody, so I'm gonna stand here with dignity and smile proudly. And she's all like weirdly conflicted. She just killed somebody, and she's like, oh, well, I don't feel responsibility, so I'm gonna preserve my dignity. But should you accept apologies? Really depends on the severity, again, the severity of the offense. But like, would I accept an apology for people destroying my life for 20 years? Absolutely fuck no. Like, it's not even possible to occur. If someone accidentally, with profound incompetence, murdered my son because she didn't know the difference between a taser and a loaded weapon, would I accept her apology? Fuck no. 0%. So really individually based for should you accept an apology. But I expect in any real circumstance, it depends on the severity of the crime. We've talked about, again, people hugging their killers in court, on the court cam episodes, and it's just like the cringiest shit ever. It's like, maybe if you're gonna pull him in for a ploy, then shank his ass. Like, I like the dude who his daughter or son was abused or raped, and they're walking him through the terminal, well-known case, walking through the terminal, and the father standing by the telephone booth and turns around and whacks the dude. It's like, those are the type of apologies that I vibe with. And so I think that guy ended up facing no punishment. Again, just more reflecting of the victim should have some sort of say in the punishment. So that's what I think about should you accept apologies. We had some drama with Tesla, Elon Musk, and the White House. I guess the White House is not saying Tesla. I guess that's like a bad buzzword or something. Again, we have some more beeping in the background. See if that continues or not. And then he said he's not being at the White House for saying rude names. Rude names get you uninvited from the White House. Like, what is this? Everyone 14 again, like, I'm not a fan of Elon Musk. Dude's not an engineer, he's not an entrepreneur, he's not a scientist, he's a fucking weirdo who cannot pronounce his children's names. What is that name again? It's like A254 squared. I don't know. Maybe, again, I really do think Elon Musk might be secretly plotting with Kim Jong-un with the haircut. I don't know if that's going to be a regular haircut for Tesla. So maybe Tesla and North Korea has formed an alliance, and that's something going on. But being not invited for rude names, do I think it's important to be invited to an EV conference? No. No. So I don't know, weird shit to be on the news. Can or should judges be able to overrule juries? Again, another Michael Franza episode. I didn't double check, but he says RICO allows for judges to sentence on suspicion of crime, which I sure hope so. Michael says that members of organized crime, when he was being prosecuted, the interpretation was members of organized crime must die in prison. That was like the sentiment of the U.S. law enforcement. I love that shit. Again, I agree with Michael in the sense that RICO should not be enacted, especially with this type of intent. Members of organized crime must die in prison. Again, mob guy versus mob guy is very low level crime to me, extremely. Extortion, shakedown, shylocking, involving the citizenship at any point, I'd prosecute myself. But just the mentality of the U.S. law enforcement to say that, and then again with his father, Sonny Franza, again clearly having stuff planted on him, horrible behavior from the law enforcement. Again, sticking a bunch of co-defendants, he talks about, again, when he was being put on trial, he knew one guy and like the other 4, 5, 6, 7 defendants he'd never met one time. And so legally, a racket, again, what is organized crime? It's crime that's organized. Typically in that context, it means, right, wherever there's 2 or more gathered, you have organization, or you have agreement. But organized crime would be more, even less so than numbers, probably more than 2 actual individuals, but on an ongoing recurrent basis. And so when I see people, Michael saying that he didn't even know 4, 6, 7 other people, that's not a racket. That's just straight up not a racket. The mafia is certainly organized crime, but the government is certainly organized crime. Are you distributing private property without just compensation pursuant to the Fifth Amendment? Are you respecting Article 1, Section 8, Subsection 7 of the United States Constitution? So that's a racket, when everyone's aware of it, and they all know each other, and no one cares. So again, from an organized crime perspective, as a citizen, outsider looking in, I think that is a horrible use of the RICO. Again, like I said, I'm a super fan of the RICO because I'm going to shove it so far up the federal government's asshole, it's going to come out of their mouth, and then they're going to die. Because I've lost my entire life. There's never been a more severe crime. Scapegoating the person that's literally writing all the signs is probably the highest level of crime you could commit, and people have done it, again, instinctually. They think they're like doing the right thing. Because again, Brad offends them. They're going to teach me how to be a good person. They're completely incompetent at all scientific discourse, and then they just deny for real. And so, can or should judges be able to overrule sentences, getting away from RICO? I think not, I think no. Hard no. Here's why. The only reason a judge should be able to overrule juries, the purpose of court is to figure out the facts. If the judge knew some fact, but if he knew a fact, it would be entered into evidence. So like there would be no way for a judge to have independently verified factual information, statement of facts. So no, I don't think judicial ruling is better. Like again, I don't think the Supreme Court, the Ninth Circuit, Judge Plump log, except for my ability to do analytical derivation, like everyone's, again, we all have the same reaction times. It's just learning to be more mature. So I don't think there's like a judge can be way smarter than the juries, the sentiment or the understanding of the jury's ruling. Even less so. I mean, people that are less, again, law is pretty common sense. Common law is common sense. The basis of common law is common sense. But unless a judge would have a pertinent information which would have been entered into the court anyway. So I just don't see why, and it could be good, it could be bad, but again, like from the law enforcement, it's like, if Michael Franza talks about on suspicion of crime, that is just like, shoot me in the dick now. So, again, more wonderful experience in demonstrable intelligence from the United States law enforcement. Last kind of point, this one's kind of short, but Biden nominates Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court. What is the approval process? I'm sure it has to get approved through the Senate or Congress somehow. I didn't even write it down, so just Google it if that interests you. But shout out to my nigga Ketanji. We're doing it for the darkest of us all. Again, I'm black man. I'm an actual black man. I speak for the elders that came out of Africa, so I might be white skinned, but I'm the realest nigga ever. Let's just be honest. And so if you get offended, shoot me. I don't care. I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want. And so, again, just do it for our people, Ketanji. Maybe some stories. Don't really. That's kind of a short episode so far. Yeah, it's pretty short episode this time. Just a couple stories. You know, obviously I've not said nigga enough in this episode, so I'll give you a story about kind of the reverse of that. Again, I dress up as a black man. That's super offensive, obviously. But my brother had a friend named Daiyo. Shout out to Daiyo if you ever watch this. Just two quick stories about Daiyo. Again, probably I don't know if he's from the Congo or Kenya, but I mean black dude. And he's like, you know, we have Halloween dress up for Halloween at our high school, and so my dude's Daiyo, and it was just genuinely funny. He comes in dressed up like all like makeup out as a white dude. Like he literally dressed up as a white person. He just wore a school uniform and had his face like super like painted white. It was actually fucking hilarious. But again, shorts, just that's a super quick story. But when's the last I saw Daiyo? Kind of recently. Probably, I might have even seen him when I was in Dublin at Lifetime Fitness in passing. But I saw him at LA Fitness at Polaris just before, like, and it was either LA Fitness or it's changed like 4 or 5 times. But I think it was LA Fitness when I was going there. And so I go in there, and then I see Daiyo, haven't seen him in years. He comes up to me, you know, just quick interactions, talking, saying what's up. And he references the academic appeal that I had written and I've read in this series, the one that I wrote to OSU as I'm getting kicked out from school. And he's just, you know, like, I've already told this story, but he was like, you know, that was some of the best writing, to this day, that's some of the best writing I've ever read. I just again remember thinking like, yeah, still don't have human rights at this point. And again, this was like 4 years ago. And 4 years later, Daiyo, hope you're doing well, genuinely. You're always a funny dude. But still don't have the human rights. But the good writing is because I am a good writer. But then we get to the scientific denial part of the society. And it's just like, yeah, my life can't change. Can't even inquire about a business without getting just convoluted answers. So those are just some two random stories because I said the nigga word. I didn't say it enough this episode, but we had a dude, Daiyo, dress up as a white dude and go to Halloween, like at school, and no, there was no problem at all. Like it wasn't like offensive or anything. That was kind of funny. Another quick story from someone I was in Philadelphia. This could have been a Fed. I think this was just a fucking idiot, and so I go into the gym, and this is another LA Fitness, not the one at Polaris in Ohio, but in Philadelphia. I go to an LA Fitness on Henry Avenue. And walking in there, and then there's some chick at the front desk, you know, just having some sort of issue, like, you know, I'm bringing a guest, I need to check somebody in, I need to do this, I need to do that, like normal gym expectation when you walk in. So I go in there, and I'm just trying to be polite and mind my business, so I'm just standing back. Again, this is before the pandemic, so I'm just standing back 2-3 feet behind the chick. And this shrimp of a dude, absolute fucking shrimp of a dude, probably like 50, scrawny as fuck, looks like he's never eaten a full meal in his life, can't exercise worth shit. He starts like weaseling in front of me. And I'm just sitting there like what the fuck is this entitled piece of garbage doing? And he just like the cashier, front desk receptionist lady and the chick like getting checked in, like they were directly talking to each other, and then the guy's like, you know, well, ring me in anyway, and just being a rude and arrogant entitled baby boomer, which is basically all of them. And I just literally audibly go to the guys like, are you serious? You're just going to cut me in line while these people are clearly like doing something? And he starts getting like of course, like you're just sitting there like a bump. Like he said, you're sitting there like a bump on a log, just not doing anything. And it's just like, I'm trying to be polite to the fucking people trying to check in and not rush the cash register receptionist. And he's like, oh well, you were just standing there doing nothing. And again, you call out a beta male, worthless piece of fucking shit. They just have to go into denial. They have to. They feel offended. They feel like you're personally attacking them, and then they have to defend themselves from an attack. And the thing that attacks them, again, being responsible, Jordan Peterson, is oppression to illiterate people. And then so, this dude is, again, an absolute fucking shrimp. Maybe 5'7", 5'8", maybe a $130, 140. Tiny. And, you know, I'm just like, walking with him to the locker room, literally just like going back and forth, like, you know, well, you're just standing there like doing fucking nothing. I'm like, no, I was being respectful. And he's like, well, I'm a lawyer. He literally says, I'm a lawyer. I live like a king. And now this is spilling over. Like, so we're in the locker room now, and a couple other people can sense the tension, and then they're listening in eagerly. And he says that to me. And so that's when he said, he repeats the line, you know, you were standing there like a bump on a log. To which I responded, who looks like a bump on a log, me or you? Because again, we're both in the locker room. Again, not posturing each other. But the dude is, again, like I said, 130, 140, 5'7", scrawny. He looks like he's never eaten a proper meal in his entire fucking life. But again, it's just, again, a rude, entitled, middle-aged fucking person can't wait 5 fucking minutes. Because the receptionist was not, like, she wasn't just standing there waiting for, like, not doing anything. And so, dude, like, again, sneaks his way up there, and then at the end of the conversation, the guy was like, well, what are you going to do about it? Like, I was going to, like, try to, like, fight him. I was like, I literally said, like, nothing. Like, just, you're in the wrong. You first of all, you're disrespectful to the receptionist, then you cut me off in the fucking line, and you're fucking 55, man. And I made some statement to him, like, you know, I have done research, I've contributed to the world. He's like, oh, this guy thinks he's some sort of math genius or something. You go, I don't say this out loud. Like I said, I don't respond to, like I said, I don't want to be called a certain word. But it's just like actually, I've actually contributed to this fucking society. I'm sure this dude's some corporate fucking lawyer just sucking dick to get a fucking paycheck from some shit fucking company. And so, that was just another wonderful story of an interaction with another wonderful law person, lawyer. Again, got the bar, Michael Jameson. I can't wait to throw you in prison, Michael Jameson. William Willis. I'm sure you're not watching this. If you do, again, you told me not to publish, again, statement of facts of crime. The fact that every day you were practicing law, you were causing me emotional damages, and I'm suing you for that. So you better have a lot of money in your bank account, Michael Jameson, and William Willis. No idea who this guy's name was. But, and then after they, like, I just, like, that's the end of it. I said, they're like, no, I'm not going to try to fight you. Like, what's there going to be a fight? I'll smack you once and just, like, fly away in the wind. But one of the other dudes comes up to me afterwards, and again, there was one person probably about my age, again, mid-20s, low 20s, and then an older guy, like, probably 40, 50. And when we first started spilling over into the locker room, the guy was like 40, 50. You could tell, you know, he had some opinions, not saying anything to anybody. And I can just sense this shit. I just look at the guys like, you got something to say too? And the guy was just like, no. Then after the conversation, again, this dude is just hurling, trying to insult me because he's incompetent and offended that I called him out. Somebody of my age comes over to me, he's like, are you okay? And I'm just like, yeah. And then the guy was like, well, at least the other guy apologized. And I was like, I don't have anything to apologize for. This guy was being disrespectful to the cash register. He cut me in line. He's an absolute shrimp of a pussy. And he's 55. Like, I don't need to apologize for anything. But again, it's just another, every step of the way I'm the scapegoat. I'm the scapegoat for calling the guy out. I'm the problem for offending him because he's a terrible person. Then I'm a bad guy for not apologizing for doing nothing wrong. It's stuff never ends. It can't. 4-person family to Russian invading Ukraine. World's never going to change. Literally can't. So there are some stories for you. And hope you learn a lot. And remember, never to say the nigga word if you are white. Peace out, my niggas. I'll see you on the next episode of Language, Litigation, Integration, Part 101, The Art of War. There's no art to war. And I got my first couple poker episodes done. Music piece dropping today or tomorrow. See you soon.